Good morning.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi there. And we're going to be starting out with Le Figaro, which is looking at that very important question of taxes, and particularly taxing the rich.
Taxing the rich. You would have thought taxes could be one of the world's most boring stories, but in France it's hot news. There you can see Le Figaro leading on that. The 75% tax ban. Now, this is a proposal that Hollande very strongly favoured during his campaign. It's one of his pledges in that 60 pledge document that he produced during his campaign. Now, he believes that millionaires, people earning over €1 million, should pay 75%. And Le Figaro is leading on this, saying, well, it is an embarrassment and a casse-tête for him. A casse-tête means headache, doesn't it?
A nightmare.
Yeah, just
having
not.
A mare.
Well, we've all been hearing about Gérard Depardieu, haven't we? Skipping town to Russia and via Belgium and who knows where else.
Yeah.
And basically, what's happening now? Why is this front page news for Le Figaro? Is because a radio station, Europe 1, very popular here in France, yesterday, Thursday, said, well, he's going to backtrack. He's going to scrap it. And that led to an immediate denial from the socialist MPs who strongly favour this. So that story, front page news. Will there be modifications? Obviously, the Constitutional Court has put it on hold, saying it's not a fair tax, so they have to find some way out of the problem.
Yeah, it was a very popular pledge, wasn't it, back in the campaign period, so he'll be looking to push that through for sure. Top news for lots of the papers is the return of Florence Cassé. She was convicted in Mexico of being part of a kidnapping ring, but they've set her free, saying her case wasn't dealt with properly. A huge amount of interest here in France.
Of course, that's making the front page of most of the papers and lots of inside page coverage as well. Le Parisien, I chose that. Aujourd'hui en France, there we can see. Accueillie comme une star. She arrived at Charles de Gaulle Airport and was welcomed as a star. Now, that paper is also asking questions, and it says there are three main ones. Why did the Supreme Court in Mexico not declare her innocent or guilty? That remains a question mark. Second question for Le Parisien aujourd'hui en France about Florence Cassé is, what about the victims? Is their story coming out enough? You know, what really the facts, the nitty-gritty details of what went on in this alleged kidnapping case. Now, and thirdly, her former partner at the time, a Mexican guy who is alleged to be the ringleader of this kidnapping, he has never been tried. So that's a third question that Le Parisien is asking.
And could she be called back for another trial, perhaps, potentially, if they say they've got new evidence? Or lots of legal questions really come out of this. The Libération is another paper that's looking into this Florence Cassé case quite closely.
Well, it's taking more of the broader angle in terms of geopolitics, not quite geopolitics, but international politics, and whether, in fact, Nicolas Sarkozy should get the credit for this. He spearheaded a campaign to get Florence Cassé back to France from Mexico, and there, Libé's querelle de Libérateur, there's a quarrel, a spat's broken out between Hollande and Sarkozy, the two camps. Now, Hollande said, yes, we support all those who helped her gain freedom, but he didn't mention Sarkozy, even though Sarkozy was very clearly the person who spearheaded the campaign for her release. So that's obviously a political spat in the usual context of partisan politics, as we know and hate or love.
And there is more Sarkozy in Libération.
Yeah, the front page of Libération this morning has got a funky cartoon of a maverick personality called Bernard Tapie, who was a former socialist minister. And behind him, we've got Christine Lagarde, a well-known French personality, and also Nicolas Sarkozy. Now, what's this about? The La Tapie connection. It's to do with what's called in France the Adidas Crédit Lyonnais affair. It's about several years of wrangling over a business deal that Tapie had. In the end, the conclusion to it was a private arbitration, not a public one, which Sarkozy pushed through. And Christine Lagarde was the person who was overseeing it. Now, at the end of the day, Bernard Tapie benefited from €400 million, to the great gasps of people around France. How could this man, who's a maverick personality, have done this? At one point, you know, he has a criminal record. So the paper is saying, well, is this catching up with Sarkozy? Will this eventually catch up with Sarkozy? One of several scandals or affair that could be a problem for him.
Yeah, people combing through that dossier. I don't envy them. Thank you very much for explaining that very clearly for us, Nicholas Rushworth, with the French paper review here on France 24. Let's run you through our top stories.